My initial reaction is that it's 10 years since the Shipman matters came to the fore. The relatives, I think, probably have just about had time to put matters to the back of their minds, so they're not really, obviously still affected by it, but not devastated by it as they were. Now it's all come back to the surface again, and it's most unfortunate from their point of view, and I feel very sorry for them.
Now, Dr. Shipman was particularly unpleasant about you personally. I mean, at one point in these notes he calls you a publicity-seeking moron. I mean, what did you make of that?
Well, he criticised me, but he also criticised his own leading counsel. He criticised Richard Henriquez, who is now Sir Richard Henriquez, a very respected High Court judge. He criticised the police, he criticised the CPS. So I really think I'm in pretty good company in terms of the criticism, and it really doesn't worry me one jot.
And Shipman seems actually quite shameless in the way that he seems to blame everybody except for himself.
Yeah, the word I've used on a number of occasions when I've been asked about this is that he was incredibly arrogant, and I think these letters show further arrogance in the sense of blaming everybody else, accepting no blame himself. It's an extension, isn't it, of what we learnt previously about him, and I don't really see that it alters the opinion that people held before, so it merely reinforces that which we all knew about. An example being, if you remember when he was being interviewed, he objected to being interviewed by detective constables. He wanted to be interviewed by very senior detective officers. Well, again, it's the same sort of thing. They weren't seeking glory in those days. They were doing their job. When I held inquests into some of his victims, it wasn't a question of my seeking glory. I am legally obliged to hold those inquests, and that's what I did. And it shows how completely and utterly misguided he was about a lot of things, I'm afraid.